Well, hello everyone. FedEx has brought me a package today, and I'm going to unbox it and see what we have in here. This particular item has come from Waffle Collectibles in California, and I'm glad it's finally arrived because I've been waiting for it for about 3 months now. And what we have here is a Phoenix Models Airbus A340-600, and this is in the Iberia livery. This is the original livery, so been looking forward to getting this. I've actually been trying to obtain this model for about 4 years now. I flew on the A340-600 Iberia from Chicago to Madrid in 2012, and it just doesn't seem like anyone makes a model until now. So this Phoenix was a pre-order, and they also have introduced one now from JC Wings as well, so that might also be a nice one to get at some point. But Phoenix has done a nice job with their packaging, and nice officially licensed product here. EC-IOB. I was on EC-JCY, which is also a A340-600, and basically it has the same exact appearance as this particular model. So let's have a look. Obviously a clear box. This is my first Phoenix model, so this is kind of a new one for me. I know they make some good quality product, and I've liked what I've seen online so far, so hopefully this will be a good addition to the collection. And a slightly different stand from which I've seen before. And it looks like we got a little screw here, so we'll have to assemble this here shortly. This is metal, which is good. Let's have a look at this. And this is, until the 747-8 came out, this was the world's longest aircraft, and but it's only been beaten by just a few feet. And this sits 8 across. It's a 242 configuration in the economy class. It's definitely got a significant size to it. Let's have a little look here close up. This is Julio Romero De Torres. Again, this is EC-IOB. Got some nice details on the gear. And I don't believe this is removable, nor does it come with any covers for the gear. I do like the colors of the original livery. The new one is updated but not very exciting. Seems to be a little bit of mottling of the paint here on the wing. Don't know if you guys can see that or not. And the Phoenix doesn't seem to have the details around the engines like the Gemini Jets does. And the JC Wings, this painting here on the side doesn't have the same quality as the others. Although the mold itself is very nice. Got the original Iberia logo here on the tail, as well as the short registration EC-IOB. Minimal detail of the APU, but still looks pretty nice. In the center of the fan blade is painted. I'm fairly certain they spin, but I always get worried about trying to make them spin. I don't want to break them off, sticking my finger in there, some object. Got some good paintwork on the engines, which is nice, and the registration underneath as well. Forward cargo door looks to be fairly detailed. Some details of the latching mechanism in the corner. And the rear cargo door and the bulk door are shown, but again, not as much detail as the JC Wings or the Gemini Jets. Just the one antenna on the bottom. And some of the intakes down here are not as clear as I would like in terms of their detail, and also the doors. So cockpit looks pretty good though. Clearly see the wipers there. Yeah, it's got some good sharp striking color to it, which is really nice. It's definitely going to be a nice addition to the collection. And as I said, something I've been wanting to get, but it would be nice to maybe a good comparison to compare this to the JC Wings, which is already sold out, unfortunately, so it would be something that I would have to track down on eBay or hopefully pick up when it gets reissued or re-released at some point. And no jewel beacons, unfortunately. But we have the rolling rubber tires and the gear does tilt. And also seems pretty straight as well. So can't complain about that. I think that's probably maybe a little bit better done than it is on the Gemini jets. A few little rubber tips from the mold, but they could probably be trimmed off a bit. Well, let's get this stand put together and we'll see how she looks. Well, I got the model on the stand. The stand goes together pretty well. It is kind of a somewhat of a loose fit. The stand looks pretty nice though. Puts the position in a nice attitude. It's not perfectly straight in terms of this way. It's not sitting very evenly on the stand, so it's kind of cockeyed a little bit, which I don't like very much. I like things to look good in the case without having to constantly address whether they're sitting on the stand properly or not. But I can try to maybe bend it a little bit to make it sit right. I'm sure you can see how much it's tilted over. Looks like we lost a tire here. And I got this model from Waffle Collectibles. I will try to avoid getting anything from that group again. I just wasn't really very impressed with their customer service or their contactability. It looks like the stand is totally just disintegrated here. The screw, when I was installing it, is not long enough to actually capture the piece that it's screwing into, so even when it's fully flush into the stand, it still doesn't grab a hold of the arm very good, as you can see. So that's going to require some modification to make that work. It's not something I usually like to do on something that I've just got. So overall, model's pretty good. A few errors and mistakes I don't like very much. I think based upon my first exposure to Phoenix, I probably would try to find something that does a better job of the model for as much as I paid for it, which was over $120. But definitely worth the wait to finally have this one. And if the JC Wings enables it or avails itself, I will probably go ahead and pick that up because I think I'll like it better. But overall, pretty good. Well, I went to the hardware store and got a 3/8 screw to replace the 1/4 inch long screw that was in there. It's a number 4x30 or number 4x40 screw, but I can't say I'm very impressed with the stand that Phoenix has got here. It doesn't sit straight or stay in position, so it's a little frustrating to spend that kind of money on something that's limited edition that doesn't really look that great on its own stand. I guess this is a review, so it's important that I point that out. So in hindsight, I think I would have been much happier with the JC wings, and I'm sure you probably will too if you decide to pick up one of these models. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the model itself, but I really don't like getting into challenges with the stand because it's just such a non-necessary or not a critical component, yet can make the difference whether the model sits right or doesn't. So it's something I think that manufacturers should look a bit more closely at. Well, I'll see if I can get something to shim inside the hole just to make the stand fit a little better, and we'll see what we can do in that respect. So I found one of the issues with the stand is actually the fact that the post itself, what that's on top of the stand, doesn't actually sit straight. So that's why my model keeps wanting to twist and shift on there whenever I get it mounted up. So I think Phoenix probably could have done a little bit better job of making that happen, seeing as the reputation of their product is going to be dependent on how well it looks. So definitely an error on their point. I will try one of my Gemini stands and actually see if it fits in there and or fits a bit better, and maybe order another one of those and use that instead. So maybe that would work too. Anyway, thanks for watching.